Welcome back to Hannity and Combs. I'm Alan Combs. The mother of professional wrestler Chris Benoit is pointing fingers. She says the Drug Enforcement Administration should have charged her son when his name first surfaced in a steroid investigation. She claims if the feds did their job, the deaths of Benoit, his wife, and their son could have been avoided. The DEA says it's ridiculous for anybody to think we could have known that anything like that could have happened. And with us tonight, professional wrestler Kevin Big Sexy Nash. You don't mind if I call you Kevin, do you?
Yeah, please.
All right. Let's talk about this this issue of steroids and roid rage. Did your understanding that, is this an issue, and have you seen this as a pattern among professional wrestlers?
I've never myself witnessed roid rage. I know that there's steroid use in professional wrestling. There's steroid use in most athletics. I myself have not seen roid rage.
Have you used steroids?
Have I ever used steroids? Yeah. Yes, I have.
And did you get mood changes? Did you get any rage take place? Or what was your experience?
No.
No mood changes.
I mean, I gained muscular size. I lost body fat. My body composition changed. But
well, you knew Chris and Nancy. You especially knew Nancy. What do you think happened here?
I mean, I really don't want to speculate. I know that from what I've been able to read and find out, and what I've saw from some of of his close friends, that there were some marital problems going on. But you know, I hate to speculate. You know, Chris was very quiet. I didn't have a very close personal relationship with him, but he was. If you're a professional wrestler, you're basically in a fraternity with these guys.
Can we discount the idea that drug use, and they found an enormous amount, and apparently he was getting from his doctor a 10-month supply every few weeks? Can we discount that had anything to do with this?
No, absolutely not. I think you have to wait till the toxicology comes out. The thing that I'm really curious of is, you know, alcohol was found on the scene. They said earlier that alcohol was found on the scene. And I guess that's just not sexy enough for the media. Here's a person that has had a DUI, who has had problems with alcohol before. And if you look in your federal penitentiaries, I'm sure there's a lot more people causing violent crime on alcohol than on steroids.
The focus is because 60 wrestlers under 45 have died in the last 10 years. 104 have died under the age of 50. There's a pattern of steroid and drug use among professional wrestlers. You have the WWE coming out and saying immediately this couldn't have had anything to do with it. It's almost as if they protest too much. You can understand why there's this kind of focus on this.
Oh, absolutely. I think, but at the same time, I mean, I've heard things on some of these newscasts where they said that, you know, that the son had track marks in his arm and he was injecting steroids into the son. Steroids are not taken intravenously. You know, they're taken intramuscularly or underneath and the growth is taken in the fat. So there's so much just misinformation in general out there. I mean, steroids, you know, if abused, are horrible. But when you're in your 40s and 50s, they're starting to find that there are some therapeutic properties as far as when men start to lose their natural testosterone levels. They call it andropause, and they're starting to find out that actually the testosterone, when taken, actually stops the fat cell at the actual stem cell itself. So there are some therapeutic and reasons to look into.
Mr. Nash, this is Karen Hanratty. I think we can all agree that he wasn't taking steroids for any sort of therapeutic purposes, and there is a lot of steroid use in wrestling.
I disagree with you. I disagree.
He was taking it for therapeutic purposes.
You don't know that. You don't know. He might have had absolutely.
You're right. I don't know that, but I think we can pretty much take that off the table. We all know there's a lot of steroid use in wrestling industry.
Hold on a second. Yes, there is, but you're misinformed. If he had taken anabolic steroids for a long time, his testosterone would have shut down from his testes. That means that he would have had no sexual drive, no libido. A doctor would give you testosterone in order for you to increase your libido because your testes are not working.
Let me ask you a basic question about the industry. Do you think that wrestling is a legitimate sport along the lines of baseball?
Absolutely not. It's entertainment.
So there should, okay, so because the baseball players have had to go before and testify before Congress, do you think that wrestling, the wrestling pros and that the association should be required to testify before Congress if there's some sort of legislation that they bring up, that you're any sort of example to these high school and college kids who are out there? Do you have any responsibility to actually follow the law, or should we just let your industry off the hook because you're, as you call it, merely entertainment?
No, I think that if you break the law, you break the law. It doesn't matter where you are. The thing is there's no toxology. The toxology has not came out yet. All this is speculation. There were steroids found in the house, yes. But until Chris's levels come back, along with everything else, I mean, I just think it's so sexy and it's such a media craze that steroids were involved. Steroids were involved. You know what? Until this comes back and it's shown that his levels are above 4-1, then I think.
And what if they are shown above 4-1? I mean, as you sit here and deny that you've ever seen any sort of kind of roid rage, which also seems to kind of stretch credibility. But what if, in fact, that it does come back?
Have you ever taken steroids?
That it was because of steroids. Then
I'm
what?
asking you, have you ever taken steroids?
No, I have not taken steroids.
And she can prove it, because I don't think you get that muscular thing. Thank you very much, Kevin, for being with us.
I'm just saying, you're doubting my credibility. I've taken them and I haven't seen it.
All right, so we thank you very much.
I know that's not what you want to hear.
Charlie Daniels coming up next.